Hi, I'm Ken Jr. and welcome to TrainWorld TV. Here you'll find the latest and greatest in model trains. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. And if you're new to our channel, we're glad you're here, and I invite you to click the subscribe button and hit that bell notification so you'll never miss a video. Now, we'd also love to send you exclusive deals and special announcements that you won't find anywhere else. So be sure to sign up for our emails, TW Text, and stay connected with us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Now, you can find all the links in the description box below or trainworld.com. And without further ado, enjoy today's video.
All right, and good morning, everybody. It is the second week of back-to-back Lionel live stream events, and I want to thank Lionel very much for being lovely participants on these events, and we're really excited to have Dave Olson on today to talk about the Base 3. Now, last week we spoke about Lionel's brand new catalog, and this is the V2, the second catalog of the year with some Vision Line GG1s, and we spoke about all these great items with Ryan, Corey, and Megan. So if you didn't see that episode, we have it on replay for YouTube. So head to our YouTube channel, TrainWorld TV, and you could check out all the hottest items, and Ryan really going in depth with a lot of the high-end engines, as well as Corey and Megan talking about a lot of the great items that Lionel has newly announced. So that was really cool, and great to see a lot of people in the morning. Thank you for joining us, and I know we have a ton of questions on this Base 3. Before I do get into it, I just want to take a moment of silence. The train industry lost two really iconic people and industry leaders, Tom McComas and also Dave Shaw. So I just want to take a moment of silence for those two industry leaders. It's very sad when the industry loses two key people. So. All right, and so that's very sad, upsetting news. But they were very Dave I knew very well from York, and always a great guy. And Tom McComas, we were actually on a few of his episodes, so we really appreciate him being a part of the episode. So we'll kick it off. We'll start with the raffle before we get into all the questions that Dave's going to be throwing out and the 101s tutorials. We're going to raffle off. This is the brand new Lionel Christmas car. And every year, Lionel does a Christmas dated car. So put it in the chat. Thank you, Dave. Hashtag thank you, Dave. Put it in the chat. Thank you, Dave, and the city you're from or state you're from. And we're going to raffle off this brand new Lionel 2024 Christmas Lionel dated box car. And while we're doing the raffle for the box car, hopefully we have it on our event page. But yes, we do. And let me share this. But every year, Lionel does National Lionel Train Day. And this year, it is going to be December 7th. We're going to have it at Trainland, and Lionel does it everywhere as a national day. And it's the first Saturday of every December. So this Saturday of December 7th, we're going to do at Trainland, and we're going to host the National Lionel Train Day. But make sure you type in "Thank you, Dave" in the chat link, and we'll raffle off this beautiful 2024 Christmas boxcar. And if you don't win the raffle, we do have them in stock. This is probably the earliest that we've got in the Christmas boxcar. So this is really great. You could get it in time for the Christmas season. Never too early for Christmas, and we're already gearing up for it. But now, I guess, wow, everybody's wants this raffle. Thank you, Dave. So a lot of people all over, and good to see you. A lot of repeats, a lot of newcomers. So really good to see. Yeah, and Big Al expected it 12:31, so ahead of schedule. But a lot of great stuff, and Ted's here. Ted had a great question I was going to answer, so great to see that you joined us. A lot of good stuff. But the moment that everybody's been joining us this morning, and we got a lot of people on the Base 3, and this is what it looks like. We got a huge shipment from Lionel, and this is the brand new box, and it is gorgeous and very sleek design. Dave, can you talk about the design on this, because it looks something familiar?
Yeah, it's a box. Or do you mean the Base 3 itself?
Yeah, the Base 3 itself.
Yeah, probably just right up the river from you. It's the Hellgate Bridge in New York City, which is part of the Northeast Corridor, I believe.
Yep.
But we have a very long history with that bridge. We made it all the way back before the pre-war. And so it was always kind of an iconic symbol to me growing up with Lionel trains, and thinking about how we can model the Base 3 and what it will be doing, which is bridging all of our Lionel's products from Legacy down through Lion Chief. So it made sense, if it's bridging the product line, to design it after a bridge. And the first bridge that came to mind to me was the Hellgate Bridge. So
that's awesome. I think that's so iconic and really makes it special. I thought that was a really neat thing, and especially like on the pre-production shots and everything, people were going a little crazy. So that was pretty cool.
I actually took one of the builder's drawings of the Hellgate Bridge and overlaid it onto CAD and started laying it out that way. So the front face of the Base 3, it actually is a 2-scale drawing of the Hellgate Bridge, and then just built it out from there.
Wow, very cool. And I noticed as we unbox this, on the back, you got a lot of information on here.
Yep.
So if you could tell us why you guys chose to put all this information.
Yeah. So the packaging was kind of modeled after the 990, but if you look at the packaging from the 990, it didn't have as much information. So I wanted to add more information under the packaging so that when customers look at it in say, TrainWorld, it would help explain what the product is and how you can use, the Cab 1 or Cab 2 remotes, as well as the Cab 3 app, and then list out what all of the compatible engines, control types like Legacy, TMCC, Lion Chief, etc., that will work with it, as well as it being equipped with Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, and all the different features. And so it really kind of can help customers to make the decision on purchasing it, and hopefully help you in the store to help explain what it is.
Yeah, and that's right. And also on this box, you're going to find this website. Yes. Very handy. Make sure you save the box and save this website address. This is going to be your go-to guide. And quite honestly, Lionel really spent a lot of time and development on this. If you go to control.lionel.com, and I'll bring it up here as well, but Lionel really did. They spent a lot of time, and I know. Listen, some people you just want to play with it. You just don't want to read directions, or you just want to get up and running, and that's why you're here on the show today to really get a live through walkthrough. But this website, if you're able to go online, if you're watching this live stream, you're able to go to a website as well. So this should be no big task. But control.lionel.com, and Dave really did a good job putting this together. And if you really think about it, there's really no other manufacturer with any kind of power supply or DCC system out there with this tutorial knowledge. And as well as Lionel spent a lot of time doing videos on the Base 3. If you check out their YouTube channel, and we have also posted it to our site as well. So there's a lot of information out there before we even delve into this thing that you could go to, and we'll bring up our site as well. We have train resources, and down here you could do Lionel Legacy Base 3, and we list out all the information. We show the access points, and we also link to this control site. So a lot of information out there. And Dave, if you want to, I guess, before we get into the Base 3 system, talk about this as like a reference point.
Yeah, for sure. And you saw that the website is listed on the box, and there's a QR code as well. But when you open up the box, as I'm sure Ken will do here in a minute, there's a quick start guide, kind of just showing you how to plug the Base 3 in, and then how to get going on it, where to download the app. But that also has the website on it, along with a QR code.
Well, let's open the box as you talk about it. So we'll do this opening. And is this magnetic?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
The box is reusable. If you do, some people have holiday layouts, so if you want to store it away, it's nice to
I don't think you guys ever done that.
Actually, no, the 990 did.
990 did it?
Yeah,
okay.
It had magnets as well.
Cool.
So that's the quick start guide there. Kind of use that to get up and running, how to just set it up and connect it to your layout, and then where to download the Cab 3 app from as well.
Okay. Well, I'm going to put you on the spot. I don't know if you have one of these sheets there, but I'm going to take it out, and I want to walk through the quick start guide right away. This way, people open it up, they know what to expect. So right away, I see a couple of components. We got the actual unit. Let's take this out here. I don't know if everybody could see me. So this is the actual Base 3, correct?
Correct. Yep, and it does have the integrated power cord there, you see.
All right, so that's just going to go to a regular wall outlet.
Yep.
And if you're ordering internationally, we always get these questions about hooking it up and power supplies. You're probably best to know with your own country work U.S. appliances. But,
and since you do mention that, and it does say it on that quick start sheet, but those who are in other countries, the Base 3 is only compatible with 120 volts. So make sure that if you're in the UK or whatever, you use an appropriate transformer. Got it.
Okay. And then, so you got the Base 3, that's one. And I see three other pieces. I see this cord here. I don't know what you call this thing.
It's a USB cable. So that's for connecting the Base 3 to a computer.
Okay.
Now, it's not going to be used often. It'll mostly be used if you're using like an LCS developers program, like a desktop controller or something like that.
Okay, so
but we wanted to make sure we included it with it just in case you need it.
So I'm assuming this smaller micro cord goes to the back of where it says USB?
Yep, exactly.
All right, well, let me put this down. Let me show everybody out there. So if you're looking to hook it up to a computer, correct, Dave?
Yep, correct.
So you got the longer flat end, which is the USB, so that's going to go into the computer.
Yep.
And I think this is like a SM or
It's a USB micro is what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this will go into trying to get it so everybody sees out there. So
right there.
Yeah. I got to do it in reverse.
Yeah.
So this is the USB plug there. So if you're looking to go to your computer, correct?
Yep.
You're going to hook that in and connect that cord. So that's nice that Lionel has included that as well. So this is the second component. So you got the base 3. There's this plug. So this is going to go to your computer. We got an antenna, which I'm assuming you don't install it right away so it doesn't break, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, you just put it on there. So
Right.
When you install it into your layout, you don't want to knock it around. So put it on there as one of the last components.
So it just goes here.
Yep, and it's just a thumb tight. You don't want to really reef it on there. You want to just kind of turn it on there so it's finger tight, and then point it straight up, and you'll be
so no power tools, Dave.
Well, I always love power tools, Ken, but I would suggest not using it in this case. Yes.
So when we get any calls about, I use my Milwaukee wrench driver and it stripped out the unit. We're not taking them back.
Yeah. Now that antenna is for users of the Cab 1L remote or the Cab 2 remote. Now the Cab 1L, that is the remote that we are still making. It is a more classic remote, kind of made in the honor of Cab 1. And so that antenna there gives a better range if you're using those kind of remotes.
Okay, and I guess you always want to point it in the direction of your Wi-Fi?
No, that doesn't have anything to do with Wi-Fi. It's more just point it up is the best, especially for smaller layouts. Those who have really large layouts, like we went and beta tested at the New Jersey High Railers layout, and their layout, I don't know if you know, but is huge. It's like 200 feet long, and so that's where we determined that we needed a external antenna like this. And
really,
so if you have a really large layout, it's best to put the base 3 in the middle of the layout as much as you can, so that you get a broader signal reach all across the layout or the room where the layout is.
Okay, very cool. So so we're up to 3 parts now. We got the antenna, the cord, the base 3, and then you also got a chip here.
Yeah, so that is one of the memory modules. Those go back to the 990 days, the base 2. Now what you can do is install that. If you have a base 2, you can install that in your base 2 and download your engine roster to that module, and then bring it over to the base 3 and import that information. Now, if you're using the Cab 3 app, you can go through and address each of your engines one at a time and program using that information, or we will be releasing the base 3 system utility. We're targeting September 1st right now. That is going to allow you to import the entire roster all at once. And so we wanted to include that memory module so that people could get it up and running quickly when they.
So this you're really only going to need if you have the older system.
Correct. Yeah. Any new users to command control, they won't need it.
Okay, got it. Awesome. So this is pretty cool, and this just plugs in right there, right?
Yeah, it plugs into that port that's next to the USB on the back.
Okay. All right.
So you'll see a little rubber cover that you pull out, and then that just plugs in, and you can use the app or the coming soon base 3 system utility to use it.
Now, to download all that information, is that pretty straightforward, or how would a user go about?
Yeah. So you use if you have the older system, you likely have a Cab tube, or you can use the legacy system utility, and that'll download the information. And then bringing it on to the new system, you use the Cab 3 app or the base 3 system utility. And all of those instructions to do all of that is on the control.lionel.com website.
Cool. Okay. And I don't know his name, but they're asking, is it 2.4 gigahertz or?
Now, 2.4, yes, that is the signal for TMCC going out, as well as the Wi-Fi. But the communication to the cab 2 or cab 1L to the base 3 is actually 455. So that's its own different communication band.
Okay, so now we got all the components out there, and I think everybody's got a good sense of what's going on here. You got this quick start guide, which I'm assuming this is going to be the easiest way to get up and running, correct?
Yeah, correct. And then so it tells you to plug it in, put the antenna on.
Whoa, slow down, Dave. Slow
yeah,
down,
I know.
Dave. I
I've
gotta
done it a
walk
million
here.
times, I guess.
I gotta walk here. I gotta walk here. All right. So I got this unit here. So what do I do with this thing?
Yeah. So the first thing you want to do is
let's
actually
go by step one.
yeah.
So we're gonna thread the external antenna onto the port on the back of the base 3.
Yep.
We did that. So we showed everyone.
Yep.
But then it says connect the wire to the track U post on the back of base 3 and connect the other end to the ground U terminal of your AC transformer or outside rail of your track. So to me, this has been like the biggest question, and where people have been getting stuck on on step one. So the wire is not included because that's an external wire. So it's really just a generic ground wire, correct?
Yeah, so any gauge, the 2024 gauge wire, whatever you want to use. And so you connect that to either your AC transformer's ground post, which is either labeled U or ground or common, or you connect it to the outside rails of your 3-rail track, which is the common or ground. And that connects to that post there in the center that says track U. And you can unthread the little knurled knob and then just have the exposed wire, or you can use, like a spade, however you want to do it, and that will connect to the track. And what that does, it's one of the 2 legs required for the TMCC and legacy antennas in our engines.
Very cool. And outer rails are still the ground plane.
They are the ground for the TMCC radio. Now, the other leg of TMCC/legacy is the earth ground. So that's why when you plug the base 3 into the wall, which I don't think we've gotten to that step yet.
Right.
But you'll see that the base 3 has a 3-prong plug, and that's because it is required to be plugged into a grounded outlet, because the legacy signal goes through earth ground in the building. So it uses the earth ground to transmit the signal from the remote or from the base 3 to the legacy engines on the track.
Okay, so all good to know. And this is going to be the biggest step out there that everybody's going to take, and it's nothing groundbreaking. It's just one wire from the track U to your transformer or the outside rail of the track to track U or the ground common post. And so you could use any wire, I'm assuming, or a normal low gauge standard wire.
Yeah, whatever wire you got. I mean, at that point, it's kind of, it doesn't matter really how big the wire is, because it's just transmitting signal. There's not really power going through it.
Got it. Okay, very cool. And there's some other stuff here. We'll get into that later, but we're going to keep on looking and follow the directions here. So we hooked up the track U post to the transformer. And I guess while we're on this topic, we have gotten some questions about people with like 2 layouts on one board, or like 2 separate, they have an inner loop that's on one transformer and an outer loop on another transformer. So in those scenarios, what do people need 2 base 3s, or how does that work?
No, you're only ever going to really need 1 base 3.
Okay.
That's kind of the great part about 3-rail, is that you want to connect all of your commons. So if you have multiple transformers, you just want to connect the commons together, or the black post, or the U terminal essentially. And once you connect all those together and they're connected to the base 3, that signal will be sent to all of your different tracks, even if the tracks themselves are not physically connected.
Okay, so that's good to know, because I think there's some people out there who are ordering 3 or 4 base 3 units to set up for each unit. So that's pretty important to know. You only need 1 base 3. So we're gonna reduce the amount of sales that we're selling out the base 3s now. So that's good to know. And now we're up to step 3. Basic, turn on the power switch. You'd be surprised how many people don't throw that switch. And we got a little switch here, and you got power on, power off. Gives a nice click. So that's fairly simple.
Yep.
That's number 4. So we got 3 is plug the power in, 4 switch, and 5, download the Cab 3 app to your smart device, available from Google Play or Apple App Stores. So that's good to know, because I know on other manufacturer units there was a certain time where it was only available on one, and we got a couple of questions on that. So Lionel app is available on both Google and Apple. So no matter, I guess, which smart device you have, you're able to download it. And I'm assuming this QR code, how does that work?
Yeah, so just use the camera app on your smart device, and you kind of hover it over, looking at that QR code, and then it'll have a link that pops up that'll take you right to it.
Okay, and it takes you to the website, or it takes you to where to download?
Now that one takes you to the website. If we were to do it to where you download the app, we would have to have two different QR codes on there. It's just easier to go into your Play Store or App Store and search for the app.
Okay, so for step 5, you're gonna go into your app store on whatever phone you have or iPad, and you're gonna download the Cab 3 app.
Yep.
Okay, and now another question that we've been getting is, a lot of people had the older app that you had.
Yeah,
so,
we had a couple of older apps. We had the Lion Chief app, which was only Bluetooth. That was intended for one-to-one pairing from your Bluetooth-equipped engines to the phone. We also had iCab, and iCab was used with the LCS system, the LCS Wi-Fi module that connected to the Base 2. Now, the iCab app is compatible with the Base 3 if people do have that app. It just is a lot more limited in functions than the Cab 3.
Yeah, and from my understanding, basically the Base 3, the new app, the Cab 3, replaces kind of everything. So
yeah,
you really just we had a customer come in, and we said, yeah, you could probably delete the other ones and just keep this one. This way you don't have to remember the difference or figure out which one you're going into. I would just and even on my phone, I removed the other apps, and I'm just using this app now.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you're watching today and you don't have a Base 3 yet, you can still download the Cab 3 app, because it has what we call tabs. So one of the tabs is the Base 3 tab, the other tab is the Bluetooth tab. And when you have the Bluetooth tab, again, if you just have a Lionel engine, anything from Legacy to Lion Chief that is Bluetooth equipped, you can run it without having the Base 3. And then you can also, once you get your Base 3, use that Base 3 tab to control your engines through the Base 3.
Awesome. And so that's it on the steps on the front. The back is just disclaimer.
Yeah. The back has like the FCC information, other legal stuff that we're required to include with the product.
Okay, we don't have to go over that. So that's it. Five steps. Very easy. John had a question on the powering, about the sequence. That is, I don't know if there's something with that, or you just turn it on. How does that work?
Sure. So one thing that we did design.
He explains the power up sequence, Base 3, track power, open up cab. So if you could touch on that.
Yeah, so you can power up the base 3 and the track pretty much at the same time. Otherwise, you do want to power on the base 3 first so that your engines, when you power them on, they don't start in conventional. But you can power them on at the same time. Now,
Sorry, I missed that. Can you say that one more time?
sure.
I know you can do it at the same time, but it's preferred which way?
It's preferred to have the base 3 powered on before the track.
Got it. Okay.
Otherwise, the locomotives will power up in conventional mode. And once they're in conventional mode, the only way to put them back into command mode is by power cycling.
Oh, okay. So that's a good little trick.
Yep.
Very neat. Okay.
So once you power the base 3 on, you'll notice the lights in the front of it are going to go through flashing sequence. And that's because the base 3 does a systems check. So it's going to check its TMCC radio, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth and RF radios, and the PDI system, just to make sure everything is running okay. And in that, probably about 10 seconds worth of time where it's doing a systems check, you won't have any control. So you got to wait for that to finish. And then once those lights go out, you can then use your Cab 3 app or Cab 1L or Cab 2 to connect and start controlling.
So I see on the front, there's a couple of different like switches here. There's three switches. There's three switches here, and then there's three buttons here. Does anybody need to touch any of these right away, or let it cycle and kind of sync up first?
Yeah, so the three switches, the throw switches that you see there, you want to make sure, unless you're programming an engine, you want to make sure that the two on the far right, one of them is a Bluetooth run program switch. The other one is an RF run program switch. Make sure they're both in run. And as well as if it's the first time you're starting up the base 3, make sure that other switch is in AP and not in network mode.
Okay.
And then on the other side, you have the three.
What's the difference between AP and network?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Let's start with this.
Wi-Fi. Yep.
Let's do one switch at a time. So
Sure.
This one, there's AP and network on this one. What's the difference?
So AP means access point. That is where the base 3 creates its own Wi-Fi network. And so you are going to have to connect to the base 3's AP network the first time you start it up. Now, network is used if you want to connect the base 3 to your home Wi-Fi network. So say you have Comcast or whatever Wi-Fi you have at home, you want to add the base 3 to that. That is when you would go in to the Cab 3 app and add the network to your base 3. And there's instructions on the website on how to do that. But for the first time, you wanted an access point to connect to it because obviously it's not going to have your home Wi-Fi router's information saved into it from the factory.
Okay. So for the first time, you want this set on AP.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
AP.
It should come from the factory with the switches in AP and the other two in run.
Okay. So the next one next to it, there's program and run. You say you want it on run from the start. So what's the difference between program and run?
So the middle switch is the Bluetooth run program switch. Now that switch is used for Bluetooth equipped Lion Chief and Lion Chief Plus engines, as well as Flyer Chief. Okay. Those are engines that do not have TMCC or legacy on them. So traditionally, those are engines that came with their own dedicated Lion Chief remote, or engines that you'd use with the Lion Chief app or the universal remote. So something that's new for the base 3 is that you can now run those engines using the legacy system.
Okay. And so that's why you want it on run, just in case whatever engines.
Run is when you're not programming one of the engines. So if you have already programmed it or you just don't have a Lion Chief engine, you want to just always leave it in run so that the base 3 is not trying to find one of those engines.
Got it. So if you're specifically wanting just to program an engine, then you could switch it on program?
Yeah. So those who are familiar with our engines like Legacy and TMCC, those engines have run program switches on them. Lion Chief engines do not. So basically we had to put that switch on the base itself.
Got it. Okay. And then lastly, you have RF program or RF run.
Yep. So the RF engines, these are the Lion Chief Plus engines that predate Bluetooth. So these would have been from 2014 through 2017, around in that time frame. And so the Base 3 can connect and control them as well.
Okay, so uh, 2014 to 2017, these engines. So if they want to connect it, they would go to RF program.
Yep,
and then connect
type.
them.
Yep, and then enter in the ID that you want to use in either a Cab 2, Cab 1L, or the Cab 3 app. Hit set, and then it'll take it, and then you put the switch back into run.
And in order to do this, they would need the one engine at a time on the track, correct? When they if you have an older engine, let's say whether it be let's say in this case it's 2014 to 2017 engine, is that like what kind of technology would that be?
That was earlier RF Lion Chief.
Okay, so let's say you have that. You just have the one engine on the track at that time, and you switch it up to program it.
Yep, and the Base 3 will go out, find it, and pair to it.
Okay.
And then you got to remember to put the switch back into run.
Okay, and then after that, you switch back down to run.
Yep.
So, all right. So we got just for starting out, we got it set on AP is up, run, and RF run. Okay, so now on the other side, we have three settings. We got a button for WPS, a button for remote control, and a gear setting icon. Yep. So if you could walk us through each one.
Sure. So WPS, this is for when you are pairing your Base 3 to your home Wi-Fi network.
Okay.
One of the two ways that you can do so is using WPS. And so you would press the WPS button on the Base 3, and then your home Wi-Fi router will also have a WPS button. And so when you press them both, they will go out and look for each other, basically. And that's one way to pair the Base 3 to your home Wi-Fi network.
Okay, and just to try to simplify this for people who are not familiar with networking. So this unit comes with Wi-Fi itself.
Correct.
So that's why Dave is saying to just leave it in AP, and you're already set. It has Wi-Fi. You don't have to worry about anything. For people who want to set it up to their home Wi-Fi, and why would that be the case? They would want to do that, Dave. If it's a bigger layout, or
no. So one thing that's very handy about having it added to your home Wi-Fi is that when you go to run your trains, you don't have to switch your phone off of your home Wi-Fi. You can just open the Cab 3 app and get running. And then that way, if you're still connected to your Wi-Fi, you can still receive emails, text messages, or anything else on your phone that requires Wi-Fi.
Say that one more time, I guess.
Yeah. So when you connect, if say the Base 3 is in access point mode, right? It's making its own Wi-Fi network. Right. If you connect your phone to that, you're disconnecting your phone from your home Wi-Fi network. So you won't have internet access on that device anymore. You won't be able to see your emails, stream videos, etc. So the reason you want to add it to the home Wi-Fi network is so that your device still has internet access.
Got it. Okay. So if you're looking to do that, then you would sync it with WPS. Do you need to switch the AP down to network when you do that?
Correct. Okay. And all those instructions are on the website if anybody's getting confused about that.
Yeah. So I feel like this is going to be, and we have gotten questions about this, syncing it up. So where on the control.lionel.com would they find this?
So if you go to click on Explore More under Cab 3. So under Cab 3, go to Explore More.
Right.
And then go down to Wi-Fi configuration using Cab 3.
Okay.
I know there's a lot of information on there. But so here you'll see access point mode. So this talks over how to connect to the Wi-Fi that the Base 3 itself creates.
Right.
And then when you want to join to a network, that's where this section, join to network mode. Now this is using that WPS button that Ken pointed out. And then a lot of modern Wi-Fi routers don't come with WPS capabilities anymore. So we have another section, if you keep going down, that explains how to join the base 3 to your home network if you do not have WPS.
Right. Got it. Okay. So I know we had a customer here. I believe that you had FiOS, and FiOS actually doesn't have, I guess in New York, I don't know where in other states if it's different. Uh, it didn't have a WPS on their router itself, so he was having hard times linking up. But if you go to this configuration page, it kind of shows you how to do it if that router doesn't have the WPS setting. So you could kind of manually override it, I guess. So
Yeah, so if you see on the right there's a table of contents for every page.
right.
And if you go down to section 4, that's where it shows the section of joining to the network without using the WPS.
Okay, got it. And I did see like someone say a PDF manual would be much easier, but I do want to defend Lionel on this because yes, I know a lot of people, including my father. He's very old school. He wants something print, and he prints out. He probably kills a ton of trees every day because he needs it physically. But with something this new, it just came out. You know, it's like a aircraft carrier. There's a lot of components. There's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of updates and things that need to be changed right away. So with this website that you go to, control.lionel.com, the Lionel team is able to update this website and able to update the instructions and kind of be really nimble and flexible and really make this user experience a lot easier, because you got to remember that this kind of was tested on certain club layouts and everything, but we're shipping thousands of these, so you're getting constant new information and updates all the time. So Lionel is able to really be flexible with this website to keep it all in a document where it's not going to go outdated. They could keep it relevant and keep it fluid. And that's really important, because if they did send and we got a funny comment, the manual will be 300 pages. That's right. But it would probably be outdated by now, because, we're getting so much information. And just for our tech team itself, we ship these out to customers first, so our employees were the last to get it. So we're kind of learning things as we go and learning new scenarios. So it really is a fluid situation, and I want people out there to kind of, hopefully you could be a little understanding and patient on both the Lionel team side and your local dealers, and as well as us. It is going to take a little learning curve period, where we're going to have to get familiar with it. We're trying new things. A lot of people want different access with it, or have different technology that they're trying to hook it up to, old, new. So there's a lot of questions that's really new out there. So just be a little patient. But Lionel's doing a great job. They're updating this daily. They're taking a look at this and seeing what needs to be altered. So it's really a little bit easier on this. So that's a great point, Dave.
You are also able to, if you want, print each of these pages. So say you need to print out the page that shows you how to join your base 3 to the network. If you go up to the top of the page, there is a button right here. You can't see where I'm pointing. You see over by table of contents, there's a button to your left a little bit.
Oh, right
there.
here.
And yep. that will print off the contents of the page for you.
Oh, very good.
If you have a printer at work.
Yeah. So that's perfect. So if you're a hard print guy, if you're looking to have something, in your bathroom, so you read it every time you go, you just click print, and you could print each page or whatever page that pertains to you. So that's really good to know, Dave.
Yeah.
Okay. So did we cover all the features on the WPS, you think?
Yes. And like we said, just make sure you review that page really well.
Yeah.
As you know, there are different options for joining to network, and everybody's going to have a different router. So that that page is going to cover 99.9% of users out there.
Yeah. And John said his Orbi Wi-Fi didn't have the WPS button, um, uh, but it was pretty easy. So that's good to know. But if you do run into that situation where it's few and far between, there is this page, the Wi-Fi configuration using CAB3 on control.lionel.com, that could help walk you through. So that's good to know.
For sure. There are a couple other buttons there on the front.
Yeah.
The center one is the remote channel button. Now, this is for if you have a Cab 1L remote or a Cab 2 remote. You can change the channel that the Cab remote talks to the Base 3 on. Now, this is the same that the Base 2 had. And so you can change it anywhere from 1 to 9. It comes as 1 as default. But if you have, say, range issues, interference issues, or there is another command base nearby, you can change that channel number to match up with your Cab remote.
Okay, so the remote control button is for the old school guys using a different remote control if they're used to that control in their hand.
Correct. Yep.
Right,
and then the last one, the one that's gear, that button is only going to be used when we do firmware updates for the Base 3.
Okay.
We'll have more instructions on the website when it comes time to releasing a firmware update for the Base 3. We'll probably have one of those before the end of this month. So the instructions on updating the firmware are on the website, and I'll likely do a video on how to do that as well.
And how would you know to know when an update's available?
So if you check back on the website, there is a section dedicated for firmware updates, and I will. It's almost like a blog or a post. I will post the update there when the updates are available. Otherwise, there's plenty of guys out there that watch that stuff and know when an update's available. I'm in constant communication with a couple of them, such as Marty. He's been a great help with the Base 3 launch, and so he'll tell people. The other thing that we can do, and I'll get with Mike, is when we have a firmware update available, we can likely post it on our Facebook pages.
Awesome, great to know. So all they need to do is press that gear button, right?
Yeah, they'll press and hold it, and while flipping on the power switch.
Okay, all right.
And then you'll use the Cab 3 app to do the update.
And most likely, if there's an update, you'll provide the instructions in
yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And okay, very good.
The instructions are actually already on the website.
Okay.
We just don't have an updated firmware released yet. That's all.
And where would they? Let me go to the page. Where would they find updates?
So under the Base
settings?
3 section,
right?
Click on Explore More.
Right.
And then there's going to be a section Base 3 firmware update. Closer to the bottom there. There you go.
Oh, there you go.
Yep. And so this explains why we update. And then if you scroll down, so update message board, this is where I will put the new firmware as it comes out. And so the firmware here right now, this is all the code that's in the Base 3 as shipped from the factory. You can download each of them by clicking the kind of like purple highlighted text there in that table. And that tells you, what is the current released firmware version. And so that will expand out as I release a new update of the firmware.
So again, all this would be impossible to put in print, as you manufacture it. So all these updates are going to be here, which is great. So if you check at this website, you'll know exactly how to do it and also what updates there are. So this is a really good spot of the website. If you don't use your system for half the year and come back to it, you know which firmware Joe A had a good question. How does the firmware get to the base 3?
Yeah, so there are two different ways. One is to use the CAB3 app. Now, the CAB3 app will download the firmware from our website automatically, or you can use the Base 3 system utility, which will be released around September 1st. And from there, what you'll do is you'd click on the link on this page to download the firmware and then upload it to the Base 3 system utility that way. So,
Got-
you know, some people may have the Base 3 and not want to use the CAB3 app. They want to use a CAB 1L or a CAB 2. And so the Base 3 system utility allows them to update the Base 3 without having to use the CAB 3 app.
Got it. And Michael had, I believe, easier question on the CAB 3 and CW80 at the same time. The CW80 would power the CAB 3, correct?
The CW80 would just power the trains.
Right.
So the Base 3 and the CAB 3 are the control system, but you still need power for the track, and that's what the CW80 would provide. So you would, make sure that your Base 3 is operating, running, and then start your CW80 up, give track voltage.
Very neat. All right, so we covered the gear setting on the front, and let's, I guess, start to work ourselves in the back.
Sure.
So I see LCS1, LCS2, LCS3. We already covered this USB port that goes to the computer.
Yep.
And I see...
That's the memory module that we covered earlier.
Yep. So we got this. So LCS 1, 2, and 3.
Sure. So that's for our LCS system. There's an entire section on the website dedicated to the LCS system.
What is the LCS system?
Yep. So LCS stands for Layout Control System. Okay. So this is when you want to expand your controls to your layout beyond controlling trains. So let me just give an example of the ASC2, or the accessory switch controller. What this does is you can connect your accessories to it, or you can connect switches to it, and that will allow you to use the CAB3 app or CAB 2 or CAB 1L to control, your activating accessories, or lighting, or throwing your switches, things like that. And we have a whole host of LCS products, block power controllers, IRV sensors, just a whole bunch of stuff that is all included on the control.lionel.com website, that really allows you to customize your layouts, electronics for your needs. And so there are 3 different connections on the back of the Base 3 to allow you to connect those modules to it.
Now, is it 3 different for, like, 1 for track, 1 for accessories, or however you want to set it up?
Yeah, so we offer 3. That way you can have 3 different connections without them all having to daisy chain through one connection. So historically, how it worked with the Base 2 is every single LCS module that you had to go through a single daisy chain, and that could be difficult if you have a large layout and all of a sudden you have to have one really long run of LCS PDI cables. Whereas here, with having 3 different ports, allows you to have 3 different legs of LCS modules without having long runs of cables.
Got it. So this is really for the advanced guy. If
Correct.
You're looking to really automate your layout, this is where you're gonna start. And like Dave said, on the control.lionel.com, there's more information on the here it is, LCS. So you got all your LCS stuff that you need to talk about.
Now, one of the probably most asked about right now since the Base 3 launched is, how do I connect this? And so a lot of that stuff is older product, such as ASCs, AMCs, T-Track power controllers. And the most common way to connect the older stuff is through the LCS SER2, which is the serial converter 2. So if you click on Explore More for me, Ken.
Yeah.
And then go to the LCS SER2.
Actually, I have it right here.
You have one, great.
This we were sold out. We had to steal this from our technician's bench. He's gonna shoot me when he comes back in. but here it is, and they are going and like crazy. Everybody's gobbling them up. So if you can find them, grab them. I've been wiping out all the distributors. They haven't had much, and hopefully we get a stock shipment from Lionel shortly. But where are we here?
A couple up, one more up. There you go.
Here we go.
Yep. And so this page will, tell you which products are compatible with the SER2. One of them also includes the MTH system, so the TIU or WTIU that's coming soon. If you want to interface your base 3 with their system, you would use this LCS SER2. And then another one that has come up quite often is, can I use my original cab 1, cab 2, or a cab 1 base 1 system with the base 3? And that is also a yes. You can connect your cab 1 base 1 to this LCS SER2 module and then connect that to the base 3. And so that will allow you to use your original cab 1 remote to control your trains through the base 3 as well. Now, to do that, you do need a null modem, and there is information on that on the website as well, and I will add more information as time permits.
Okay. And Dana had a good question. The LCS is for fast track, or will it work with other track systems?
Yeah, so it'll work with all track systems. Most of the modules are these blue boxes that can connect to things like lights or motors, switches, etc., which are not just exclusive to fast track. One of our other LCS type of products is the sensor track. The sensor track is for fast track, but we also brought back the LCS IRV2, which has the sensor track functionality, but is meant for other track systems. Whether it's tubular track, Ross, Gargraves, etc. Yeah, so you can see there that the sensor sled can be added in between the rails of other track systems that do not have road bed like fast track has. So the LCS system is meant for anybody's layout, regardless of track system.
Awesome. And Lionel is also including like some videos now, which is really cool that you get to play and kind of learn. If you don't like reading, there's plenty of YouTube videos out there. The couple of questions, the cab 3 alerts show when there's an update. If they sync it to their home Wi-Fi, they would get a update on that, or?
So the cab 3 app, it depends on if we're talking about an update to the cab 3 app, which if we release an update for the cab 3 app itself, usually the Play Store or App Store will inform you of that. If there is a firmware update for the base 3, we have not made the cab 3 app do like an automatic push notification, but that is something we can think about as actually a good idea.
Okay.
For
and
the future.
I know we're getting a lot of questions about hooking it up with a different manufacturer, and to be fair and to Lionel, a different manufacturer is not under their control, so I don't want to put Dave on the spot, but I do want to try to cover. I did speak to a different manufacturer the other day. They don't have the base 3 yet, so they're not able to answer, and I know we're getting a lot of questions, and I saw one of the gentlemen, John. We've been seeing your emails on how to hook it up. But give us some time and patience. We think this is how you could set it up. Again, we haven't been testing it, but if anybody out there knows how to set it up, we'd like your opinion out there. But we believe the PDI cable, serial converter, and then these would be the cables, and this is the diagram. John, I think you asked for a diagram in an email to us. I'm pretty sure we sent it to you yesterday. Again, we haven't tested this out. We're going off of what people have been saying on the forums. If anybody out there knows if this is correct, we'd love to hear it, or if you've tried it. Again, these are two different companies, so everybody, please be patient. We'd appreciate that, and we're trying to test things as quick as possible. We actually, our first shipment was completely sold out, so we had to wait until the third shipment to actually get a surplus to put these on our layouts. And Eastern Division is saying diagram is correct. Thank you. Works great through the base 3. Again, take this with a grain of salt. We haven't tested it. This is not from Lionel. This is not from MTH. So this is what we're kind of putting together. So again, we appreciate your patience while we kind of do our due diligence to see what works, what doesn't. It's a trial. Don't get frustrated. Please understand that we're getting thousands of questions all the time. Lionel is getting tons of questions, so we're trying to do the best we can with the limited experience that we have in these units, because this is new to us and it's new to Lionel. It's new to all the dealers out there. So everybody out there is trying to figure out the same thing at the same time. So we appreciate that. Another question that came in, and it looks like Andrew did answer it, but can you use a conventional transformer like the ZW? And I also had a question on that as well, because someone did email us about having a ZW, but does a post-war ZW or ZWL, does that make a difference, Dave?
Yeah, so all AC transformers will be compatible. Since the signal just goes through the ground, that kind of has remained unchanged throughout transformer history. Now, between the transformer and your track or your engines, if you're using a post-war transformer like a ZW, we really suggest that you add some sort of circuit protection to protect the newer electronics in your transformer or in your trains from like short circuits and things like that. And there's plenty of instructions on how to add older ZWs with breakers and TVS diodes, etc. You can find that online. Just Google it. But yes, it is compatible.
I would also, even before the base 3, we always recommend, if you're using new trains, try to have a newer transformer or something that's a little more recent. Keep your old post-war ZWs with the old post-war trains. I'm a big believer in just keeping it separate, and it's not because I want to sell more new technology. It's just because sometimes we get issues that arise here, and we're trying to figure it out. And it's just simpler to keep it, old trains, old transformers. The newer trains keep with the new transformers, and it'd be a little easier that way.
Yep.
What's the best way to connect to the fast track?
So we sell, I don't know the SKU number off the top of my head, but we have a fast track terminal section that comes with wires. And that is the fastest and easiest way to connect your power / base 3 to your fast track.
Okay, awesome. And so we kind of covered everything, every component on the base 3. So we're just going to rapid fire at Dave as much as we could squeeze out of him.
Ken, real quick,
yep.
One more thing on the base 3 unit itself.
Yeah, sure.
If you look on the bottom, there is, the very bottom of the unit, there is a square that has the section, and there is also the QR code for going to the website there too, in case you've discarded the packaging or anything like that.
That's awesome, because I know there's a lot of people out there that aren't, they get an item, they throw out the box, they just keep it. And just to walk through a QR code, because there's some people out there that don't know what a QR code is, but basically you open the camera app on your phone, either iPhone or a Google phone, whatever kind of phone you have, and you just highlight with the camera over this code, and a link pops up, and you just want to click that link, and it will take you directly there. So that's great, easy access.
Yep.
Awesome. All right. Let's see. And I know I'm throwing things at Dave off the cusp. So Dave, if you don't have an answer, he'll get. We'll do your best, and you could always email us or the support team, or go to control.lionel. But let's see what we could get through here. So this we haven't really talked about. Line Chief Plus 2.0 engines into the Cab 3 roster. Should it be entered in as Legacy or TMCC type? Mine seems to work when entered as TMCC, but not Legacy. Is this correct?
Yes, that is correct. So a Lion Chief Plus 2.0 is a TMCC engine. It is not Legacy. So if you do program it as a Legacy locomotive, it will not work. So make sure you program it as a TMCC type.
Very neat. Yes, old ZWs put a breaker. Yes, you could do that, but I don't suppose most people would know how to do that. But that's good, Bill. That is smart. You could do that if you're able to. Let's see. What's a good new Lionel transformer to get? Have the ZW on a circuit breaker, but want to modernize.
And so I like this question. If you go back, just to derail us a little bit, Ken, if you go back
Yep.
to the website once again,
Yep.
there is an entire section on our transformers. There is a power and control section. If you minimize the LCS and go, power control. So just go to the first page, Lionel Power and Power Control.
Right.
And here we describe the different transformers that we sell. And if you go down to the graph there, this will help you decide what transformer to get. Because if you have a smaller layout, you don't need to go ZWL. If you have a really large layout, you don't want to just buy a CW80. So this will kind of be an off-the-cuff guide on what transformers you want to get to control your layout.
And this right here is great. It's quite honestly, if you came into any dealer around the country, they would say, okay, what size layout do you have? And so this is like the modern day salesman on which power pack to get. So this is really neat. Great job with that, Dave. Dave, is there any way to default the Cab 3 tab instead of the Bluetooth?
Not currently, Don, but I'm going to write that one down. That's a good idea too. If people want to just use the Base 3, it would be helpful to have that as a default option. So let me look into that as well.
Will you still be able to use the original TMCC Cab 1 via serial converter?
Yeah, and the answer to this is yes, but you do need a null modem. That's NULL. You can get those off Amazon for like $6 or something like that. And what that does is it converts the serial over. And the information for that some of the information is already on the website. I'll add some more information on how to connect it that way.
Yeah, I know you mentioned this before about this null modem. So I'm lost. I don't even know what a null modem is. Is that a tangible something physical?
Yes.
You order off of like
Amazon
online? Yeah. Okay.
So it's that you connect the Base 1 to the SER2 using a DB9 cable. That's kind of an old school computer connection. That's kind of that big D-shaped connector.
Okay.
Which you can see on the SER2 there if you got it and you open it. But you need the null modem because it flips the wires in the serial cable and makes them compatible.
And is there a section on the website for something like this with the?
It'll be under the SER2. I'll spend some time and add some more information on that.
So that would be under LCS?
Correct. Yep.
SER2.
Yeah.
All right.
So if you see there, just it's probably the second paragraph. If you pass the SCR2 will pass commands from original Cab 1, a null modem will be required. Let me expand upon that. So if there's more information, I could probably even add a diagram.
Okay, cool.
And this is where, another example of the instruction manual always growing.
Right. And that's why, it's good that it's online and it's fluid, because things are changing and things are coming in rapidly. And a lot of people out there have some great questions, great feedback. Dave, Lionel are listening. They're taking, the questions serious. So they'll be updating based off of the show too. So which is great. Joey has a good question. Has the 4-digit entering been fixed into the Cab 3 app?
I'm not sure what he means by fixed, but we can run our 4-digit locomotives. So the Class A, Vision Line Class A was the first engine to come equipped with the 4-digit radio. Then we've done a few others since, such as the early Challenger and then the Vision Line Big Boy. And there is a section for 4-digit under the Cab 3 section of the website. So you can go in and read about what 4-digit addressing is, which engines are compatible. One of the great parts that we're excited about is that all of the legacy
Would that be base
locomotives
3 or
under
Cab
Cab
3?
3. Yeah, go
Cab
to
3.
explore more. So in the newest catalog that you started the show out with, all legacy locomotives in that will come with 4-digit addressing. Yep, right there, 4-digit locomotives.
Awesome.
And so there's the list of compatible locomotives. And like I said, all legacy locomotives from the 2024 Volume 2 catalog and on will be compatible with 4-digit addressing. And this section of the website does, give you instructions on how to program a 4-digit engine and some other, future development ideas that we have as well.
Very neat. And timeline for like updates, or I know we went to the update section, but either the Cab 3 app itself or the system. Is there something everybody out there should know about the updates?
Yeah, so for the firmware for the Base 3 itself, we do have an update planned before the end of this month. After that, the updates will only be as needed for the Base 3 and likely will not be often, since we are very confident and happy with where the firmware is at with the Base 3. Now, the Cab 3 app is going to be ongoing development and ongoing improvement. Right now, we would also like to get an update of that out before the end of this month. And then you'll likely see an update of the Cab 3 app at least once a month going forward, probably for the next 6 months or so, as we not only continue to fix bugs, but also add additional features as well.
Awesome. Chris Carr, are there any features on the Cab or legacy controllers that cannot be controlled from the Cab 3 app?
So one of the big goals of mine in creating the Cab 3 app was that it was able to do everything that the Cab 2 can do and more. So the ultimate goal will be, no, everything that a Cab 2 can do can be done by the Cab 3 app. We are still adding features and working on bugs. So there are things at this time that may not be working that will be in the future as we continue to evolve the Cab 3 app.
All right. And Bill, it seems like Bill needs a little help connecting to the Wi-Fi. So I guess, is he connecting through the Base 3 Wi-Fi or your home Wi-Fi? I'm not sure which one you're doing. You selected the Base 3 in settings, and the Base 3 app says there is no Base 3 detected.
Yeah, and so where I would suggest Bill go from here is to email us or talk to us at lionel.com. And I'm working with them closely to help customers that are having any kind of issues with the Base 3 or Cab 3 app. And I can walk customers through and really help them get up and running.
Awesome. That's great to hear. Tom Trains, Andrew is like a master answer. I see all these answers from Andrew. great job. So cab 1's here too. Null modem cable. Very good job. And that's what's great about these chats and these forums. We get so many great feedback from club members and also individual people who have great answers and knowledge. So that's great. Johnson, when will we be able to control Legacy PowerMaster, Legacy ZW with Cab 3?
Yes. So we are working on that right now, and we will have an update out. Like I said, the goal is by the end of this month that will allow you to control your ZWL and Power Masters using the CAB3 app, using the train function or transformer function. Right now, if you do have a ZWL, you can use the CAB3 app to control it. If you program it as an engine or an ENG and set it as transformer type. But yes, we are working on that bug specifically right now and hope to have it fixed by the end of this month.
Awesome. And any issues using SC-2s with the new base 3, large layout, and have several?
Yes, the SC2, the switch controllers, no, I actually think those had their own antenna in them, so you don't even have to wire them to the base 3. I believe I'm correct on that. And so you'll be able to address those as well, just same as if you were using a base 1L or a base 2.
That's awesome. NYC, yes, this will be available on YouTube in perpetuity, and we'll also link this to our base 3 and our base 3 channel as well, that everybody could watch and listen. This is a little recommendation. Can you make an additional screen on the app similar to the Lion Chief app, where it has the numbers for the different bell and horn cells, as well as make the smoke unit?
So for the horns and the bells, it's different when you're using the base 3. You just use the aux 1 and then and then play either the bell or the horn. Then that will change through the different horns or bells. For the smoke, if you're connected to a locomotive, you can swipe from right to left, and that will swipe over to the speed screen, which does show smoke feature, smoke on and off buttons, etc., as well as volume controls.
He could also still use the older app as well if he's used to that. So that's always an option as well. Ray, will the CW80 transformer be okay to use with the CAB3 system? From what I've heard, yes, correct?
Yes, yeah. Okay. Really what your limitation there is, Ray, is how many trains you plan on running with the CW80. It can run, excuse me, it can run 2 to 3 locomotives. If you start, using smoke units, then it might be too much for that transformer. Right. But as long as it's an AC transformer, it's compatible with the base 3.
Yeah, and again, also with the power question. So sometimes we get people who buy like the Vision Line Big Boy, and they have a 40-watt transformer. So just also keep in mind, like the larger, bigger steam engines, sometimes they'll require more power and stuff like that. And like Dave said, as you grow, sometimes you may hit that borderline, which you're going to need to upgrade. So just keep that in mind, because a lot of people sometimes when they add another train, they say, well, my new train doesn't work because I have 3 trains already on it, and this is the 4th, and all the other work on this engine. So you may need more power. So that's a good thing to keep in mind in the future. Let's see what else we got here. This is funny. Megan would like this, a Halloween theme screen for the Bluetooth side. So that's cool.
Yeah, that is one neat feature on the Bluetooth side of the CAB3 app. You can change what we call the skins. Right now we have just the standard like Lion Chief look, and then there are 2 different Christmas variations. And we will add more skins in the future as we go. I would love to see a Halloween one as well.
That's cool. The Power Master bug, I think you touched up on this, but when is the update on that expected?
By the end of the month.
Okay.
We'll have it going.
Okay, awesome. So just be patient, VH. All this is again, it's fluid. There's a lot of things being thrown out at Lionel, at the dealers. So just be a little patient. And but Dave is on it. He's on. He's making a list. He's checking it twice, and he's gonna find out what's naughty or nice on this base 3. But he's getting to it, and he's working on it.
And again, if you do have any technical issues or you need help hooking it up, just email us at talktous@lionel.com, and we will help you figure those out.
And Marty E makes a good point. Lionel and Dave did a ton of YouTube videos. So if you don't like to read, if you don't like, flipping through the manuals, I don't like to do that. So I don't blame you, but there are YouTube videos out there. Lionel has a great YouTube channel, and as well as we try to repost whatever instructional base 3 videos as well. So make sure you check those out too. Delaware Hudson tried several times to 4-digit address my Vision Line Big Boy. No luck. It takes 2 digits, but not 4. Not sure if there's something to help him out on that, Dave.
I think we should, he could call us and we can walk through him. Yeah.
Awesome.
So sometimes it's just, are we not pressing the right button, or is it not set up correctly? Sometimes you just have to have some support. So.
Awesome. Chris, why would my base 3 on network mode lose connection to my home Wi-Fi after 5-10 minutes when on? Happened multiple. Could it be a home Wi-Fi issue?
Well, it could be. What we've seen is, if somebody has their base 3 in their basement, they might lose signal strength connection. Another thing that Chris might want to try is connecting it to his home network without using WPS. Some router manufacturers, WPS is not always a reliable connection method. So try connecting it without using WPS and see if that fixes it.
It's funny because no matter which manufacturer and which system you have, we get a lot of calls where people are in the middle of the country, and let's say they have a huge layout. Let's say in New York, we really don't have the space in homes for these huge layouts, but let's say they have 100 feet and they have a little Wi-Fi thing, and they're either outside in the barn or far away. So just keep that in mind, the home Wi-Fi router. And they do make Wi-Fi extenders. So if you're looking to extend the range of your Wi-Fi, actually in our store, we had to do that recently because I wanted to do something with the computer upstairs in the warehouse, and I wasn't getting Wi-Fi. So they make these Wi-Fi range extenders that are pretty helpful as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Randy had something interesting. Can the base 3 be connected to a phone hotspot?
I can't say that I've tested that, so that might be something we all want to try out if you need to do it.
Very, very cool. Tom Trains, amperage is king. More about. Very good. Yes, newer transformers with the sine waves. Very good. No Brooklyn accent though. Yes, no Brooklyn accent from the mid-state countries. Very cool. So I think we're kind of getting caught up on all these questions.
Perfect.
Dave, you are a beast with the knowledge. You kind of know everything, and we really appreciate you taking the time and picking apart each question. We really do appreciate that. I know it's a lot to get thrown at. We kind of fed you to the wolves today, but it's all good. Dave was ready, and he's very knowledgeable, and we really appreciate it. And I just want to say, I know everybody out there, it could be frustrating when you get something and it's not working as anticipated, but be patient. This is a new process to all the dealers, to Lionel out there. If we don't respond to you right away, sometimes if you email us Sunday, a lot of businesses are closed Sunday, so may not respond the same day. Sometimes Lionel or TrainWorld, we're at shows. Sometimes dealers are at shows. So just keep in mind, sometimes we can't respond within an hour. Sometimes we have, with our tickets, email tickets that come in, we have specific individuals that know more about that certain situation. Sometimes there's a part-timer that may be able to get back to us. But we, both Lionel, TrainWorld, your local shop, we will get back to you. We'll answer your questions. So just be patient. We appreciate you guys out there, and we appreciate the support. These base 3s, it is wild. The amount of base 3s that went out, I mean, it was groundbreaking, record-breaking shipments that went out on this stuff. So Lionel and their team did a great job getting these units out. And I know everybody's been waiting for these units. I mean, everybody wants to run these brand new legacy units and all their cool trains and have the exact power supply that they need for it. So a lot of people have been clamoring up for them. So they're finally here. We really appreciate everyone. And again, we're going to do that raffle. And make sure you put in the chat, hashtag thank you, Dave, for being on tonight. We're going to raffle this off. Make sure you show your support for Dave coming on today to answer every question that was thrown at him. We really appreciate it. So we're going to pick out a winner for this brand new Lionel 2024 Christmas box car. And if you are don't have the Base 3 or were on the fence about the Base 3, we do have them at TrainWorld.com. We've got the power. The Lionel Base 3s are here. So if you do click on, we also link to all the videos as well. So if you're looking for, if you can't remember control.lionel.com, you could always come to the Base 3 system, and we have Lionel's videos up there. So a lot of the tutorials that Dave was working on, and we'll also probably link this video as well. Lion Chief Base 3. So Dave really put a lot of videos ahead of time, anticipating the questions, anticipating the demand. So really appreciate that for Dave. We've been really doing trying to put up every video, but you can see there's a ton of videos that Dave, you probably did like 20 videos more. It was wild.
And I still have probably another 20 that I'd like to make. So it's all, I got to sleep sometime.
That's right. And again, here on our website, trainworld.com, if you type in Base 3, it will come up. But we link to the control.lionel.com. If you can't remember how to do a QR code, if you can't remember the link, you can come to our website. When you order that Base 3, it's right here for you. And we also have some of those troubleshooting questions. So if you're looking for questions that need answers to, we do have those frequently asked questions that Lionel was kind enough to put together. This was one of the big questions that we've had in our store, and we do link it right here for those questions. If your home internet router does not have WPS button, you could read the instructions here. So we've gotten that question a couple of times. So really, a lot of these questions are already listed as frequently asked questions or on control.lionel.com that could be answered. That's really it, Dave. You've made this system kind of simple. It's really just one wire to hook it up.
Yeah, just if you have any questions, make sure you check out the website, like Ken said, and then we're here to support as needed.
Yeah, and, Dave is going to give out his personal cell phone number now.
I don't know about that. I'm losing signal, Ken. I'm losing.
We need that Wi-Fi range extender.
Yes.
No, but seriously, Dave, thank you so much. You have been excellent. We have gone an hour and a half of torturing Dave with all these questions. He's been repeating, answering these questions. So we really appreciate Dave for being a great participant, being a great guest. So big shout out to Lionel and their team. I know our tech team has been shooting over some questions, and they've been responding. They've been really open, receptive. So make sure you reach out to both teams. We're doing our best to answer and respond as quick as possible. And we really appreciate the kind comments out there. Thank you, Dave. We're going to pick out a raffle winner hopefully tomorrow once we get more people. So we really appreciate the Cab 3 amazing unit. Randy said, thanks, Dave. No sleeping allowed. So lots of great stuff. But Dave, any last words?
No, I just want to say thank you, Ken, for having me on, and thank you to everybody that waited for the Base 3's arrival. And I'm just hoping everybody has fun with it, because that's really what this hobby is about: is enjoying your trains, enjoying the time spent on your layout. And I'm just very grateful that I could be part of it all.
That's awesome, Dave. Great job. And they want to know if you do dream coding. So when when you're sleeping, do you see those digits and those coding go off?
I don't think I should share what I dream about, Ken.
Very neat. Well, Dave, we want to thank you very much. Lionel, thank you so much. The past 2 weeks has been tremendous. Don't forget, Lionel has announced tons of new products, so make sure you get the brand new catalog. And we're taking pre-orders on all these great items. To be honest, I don't remember when the actual deadline date is, but I know it is coming up soon. It may be a week or two.
I think it's next Friday.
Next Friday. Okay, so it is coming up soon, next Friday. So get your pre-orders in if you head to our website, Volume 2 catalog. So again, you could order all your new catalog items, the Vision Line GG1. We did a huge video. You could check back on the video. And the Base 3s are in stock. They are here. They are in stock. We have a great easy banner right here. So check it out. And thank you, Dave, so much for being on tonight. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Ken, and thank you, everybody else.
Yep. Thank you, everybody out there, for joining. This has been a tremendous episode. We thank you for your suggestions. We thank you for your insights. And thank you for joining us today. And again, you could grab all your Lionel products at TrainWorld.com. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care.
Bye.